Hello, friends. Today we bring you a very big and shocking story from the UK. Yes, this news is so important that it will really make you think. Reports suggest that the situation for asylum seekers in the UK is no longer the same as before. Many are saying that the authorities have now started a tougher crackdown on migrants. The big question is, will it now be impossible to get asylum in the UK? Is the entire immigration system about to change? That's exactly what we'll explain in detail in this video, so stay with us till the end. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do it so every new update reaches you first. Friends, the Bell Hotel in Epping has become a key part of this story. For quite some time, this hotel was being used to house people who had nowhere else to stay. Hundreds of migrants were living there. But the government suddenly decided to remove them and relocate them elsewhere, saying the hotel could no longer be used for this purpose. The case, however, went to court, and that's where things changed. The High Court rejected the government's request, stating that the arguments were weak. The court said suddenly forcing people out would go against their basic rights and safety. It made it clear that humanity cannot be ignored. This decision was a major setback for the government. On one side, they were trying to show they had made the asylum system stricter, while on the other side, the court blocked their move. After this, a big debate started in society. Some locals said the hotel should be emptied because the burden was falling on their area and resources. They argued that housing and jobs are already in short supply, and the rising number of migrants is making things worse. But others called the court's decision a victory for humanity. They asked, what would have happened if the migrants, including women and children, were suddenly thrown out? Who would take care of their shelter, food, and safety? Friends, the government is now under pressure. Reports suggest it is considering challenging the decision. Some say it may even push for new laws to reduce the court's power in such cases. Despite this, the crackdown on migrants has also intensified. So on one hand, the court is giving its rulings, and on the other hand, the government is tightening its measures. This has created a strange conflict. The real question is, if the government continues to get tougher and the courts keep blocking them, where will this all lead? Could it really reach a point where the UK closes the doors of asylum once and for all? This matter isn't limited to just the Bell Hotel. Similar attempts have been made in other places too, and each time the courts have prioritized humanity. But the question remains, how long will this tug of war continue? This struggle is not just between the government and the courts. It directly affects ordinary people and migrants too. Local residents say their tax money is being spent on migrants, while migrants argue they came here to save their lives and only want the right to live in peace. In the coming days, it will be important to see what step the government takes next. Will it challenge the court's ruling, bring in new laws, or make the situation even stricter? Now the question for you is, how do you see this issue? Do you think the court's decision is a victory for humanity, or do you agree with the government that asylum doors should now be closed? Share your opinion in the comments. Friends, now let's talk about the most critical and dangerous part of this story, the part that will truly send chills down your spine. Many people believe that if the court gives a ruling or the government takes a new step, then ordinary people can't do anything about it. But the real question is, how can migrants or asylum seekers actually protect themselves? And what does their future look like? Recent reports show that the entire UK system is changing. Earlier, when people were caught, they were kept in detention centers or hotels temporarily. For months, sometimes even years, they would stay there while fighting their cases. But now the situation is very different. The government has made it clear. There will no longer be large detention centers. Yes, friends, a new approach has started in the UK. Now, as soon as someone is caught, instead of holding them, they will be sent straight back to their home country. That leaves only two paths. The first, if you have strong reasons and solid evidence for not being able to return, you can appeal in court. But friends, this path is not easy. Lawyer fees have skyrocketed, and fighting a case has become extremely expensive and time-consuming. Not everyone has the money to spend years going in and out of court. The second, if the case is weak, then straight deportation. And this is where the biggest suspense begins. Reports say that the UK has already made secret deals with several countries. This means that if a person is caught and sent back, that country's government will receive money in return. In other words, a kind of deal system has been put in place. Think about it. On one side, the UK tells its people that migrants are being removed and the burden has been reduced. On the other side, it quietly pays foreign governments to take their citizens back. Now the biggest question is, what kind of life will these people have once they are forced back? Because many countries have terrible conditions, no safety, no jobs, and sometimes even threats to life. In such cases, forcing someone back is like pushing them directly into danger. So, how can people protect themselves? There seem to be three possible ways. First, appeal in court. But as I said earlier, this is extremely difficult with soaring fees and years of legal battles. Second, seek help from local communities and NGOs. In many cases, when locals stand with a migrant, the government slows down its action under public pressure. Third, going into hiding. Yes, many reports say people suddenly disappear from the system, making it difficult for authorities to find them. But in this path, there is always the constant risk of arrest and punishment. Friends, the UK government's policy is now crystal clear: catch and deport. There is little room left for holding people, and much more focus on removal. That's why many analysts are saying that in the coming days, seeking asylum in the UK will become nearly impossible. Just imagine, people who spent years in hotels or temporary housing, fighting their cases, waiting with hope that one day they'd be allowed to stay. If they are suddenly deported, all their dreams and efforts will collapse in a single moment. But the reality goes deeper. The government is under pressure from its own voters. It has to show them that the number of illegal migrants is going down. That's why deals are being made, paying other countries to take back their citizens. But where is the humanity in this? The lives, struggles, and emotions of real people are being reduced to just a few pounds. And here's the suspense. If this policy is fully enforced in the coming months, the asylum door could be shut forever. The question is, will the courts remain silent? Or will there be a new clash between the government and the judiciary? Friends, this is no longer just about law. It has become a test of both humanity and politics. And the real sufferers are those innocent people who risked their lives, left everything behind, and made it here. So, what do you think? Will this new system really stop migration? Or will the courts once again overturn the government's decisions in the name of humanity? Share your opinion in the comments. And if this video has helped you see the reality, then share it so others can also be aware of what's happening. Don't forget to subscribe because we'll bring you the next big update here first. Friends, you've seen where the situation is heading. The UK's policies, court decisions, and government deals, all of these together can change the lives of millions. This is no longer just about migration or documents. It has become an issue of human rights and humanity itself. We always try to bring you the stories that are often not shown in mainstream media. What we share here is not rumor, but details based on reports and reality. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends, family, and on social media. Maybe your sharing could help someone else understand their situation better or make the right decision. Friends, your opinion is very valuable to us. Tell us in the comments how you see this whole issue. Do you think this new system will really stop migration? Or will the voices of humanity and justice once again force governments to change their decisions? If you want to receive important news like this from around the world before anyone else, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon so the moment a new update comes, it reaches your phone screen first. Remember, your support is our strength. When you like, comment, and share the videos, it gives us the courage and motivation to bring you even bigger truths. And friends, finally, a prayer. May Allah make things easier for every person who is in difficulty, on a journey, or searching for a safe place. Our mission will always be to bring you the truth and keep you aware of reality. Stay connected with us, inshallah. The next big update will also reach you here first.